Today, we will start with a new chapter, chemical reactions. You all have been writing chemical equations, so let's discuss what is a chemical reaction. A reaction in which a chemical change occurs is known as a chemical reaction. We all know the reactants combine to form a completely new substance in a chemical reaction, which is known as a product. There are four types of chemical reactions. The first type of chemical reaction is known as a combination reaction. So, what is a combination reaction? A reaction in which two or more elements combine to produce only one product is known as a combination reaction, which is also known as a synthesis reaction. So, two or more reactants will produce only one product. The general formula of a combination reaction is as follows: A plus B gives out AB. Here we have taken two elements. What are the two elements? A and B. They react to give you only one product, that is AB. So the general formula for a combination reaction is A plus B gives out AB. So let's see some examples of a combination reaction. The first one is burning of magnesium. Here, magnesium reacts with oxygen to give you magnesium oxide. If you see the equation, Mg plus O2 gives out MgO. I've already explained that in a combination reaction, A plus B gives out AB. So here, magnesium Mg is A, O2, that is oxygen, is B. The A and B will give you AB. So Mg plus O2 gives out MgO. The next example is combination of hydrogen and oxygen. Hydrogen combines with oxygen to give you water. H2 plus O2 gives out H2O. Here H2 is A, O2 is B. A plus B will give you AB, that is H2O, that is water. So this is another example of a combination reaction. So always in a combination reaction, A will react with B to give you AB, a single product. The next example of a combination reaction is combination of hydrogen and chlorine. Hydrogen and chlorine react to give you hydrogen chloride. Here sunlight is necessary, so we write sunlight above the arrow. And since we do not need bright sunlight, only diffuse sunlight is required, so we write diffuse sunlight above the arrow. It is a condition required during this reaction. Here H2 is A, Cl2 is B, so A plus B will give you AB, so H2 plus Cl2 will give you HCl. The next example of a combination reaction is combination of iron and sulfur. Iron reacts with sulfur to produce iron sulfide. Here heat is required, so we write heat above the arrow, or you can also write a delta sign above the arrow. I've already taught you the different symbols you will use while writing a chemical equation. Delta sign indicates heat. So instead of writing heat, you can write a delta sign above the arrow. Here Fe is A, S is B. So A plus B will give you AB. So FeS. So this is another example of a combination reaction. So remember, in a combination reaction, always two or more elements will combine to give you only one single product. The next type of reaction is known as decomposition reaction. In this type of reaction, a compound breaks down to give two or more elements. It is just the opposite of combination reaction. If you see the general formula of a decomposition reaction, you will see that AB gives out A plus B. That was just the opposite of what we did just now, that is composition reaction, where A plus B gives out AB. But in a decomposition reaction, AB will give A plus B, just the opposite. Decomposition reaction that takes place in the presence of heat is known as thermal decomposition. So, when decomposition occurs in the presence of heat, it is known as thermal decomposition. Let's see some examples of thermal decomposition. The first example of thermal decomposition is decomposition of limestone. Limestone is calcium carbonate. When calcium carbonate is heated, it produces calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So if you see the general formula, AB gives out A plus B. Here AB is calcium carbonate, that is CaCO3. When heated, it gives out A, that is CaO, and B, that is CO2, carbon dioxide. If you see the equation, next to limestone, S is written, next to calcium oxide also S is written, next to carbon dioxide G is written. So S stands for solid, G stands for gas. So instead of writing G, you can also use an upward arrow. The next example of thermal decomposition is decomposition of potassium chlorate. If you see the equation, KClO3 is potassium chlorate. When it is heated, it gives out KCl, that is potassium chloride, and O2, that is oxygen. If you see the reaction properly, besides heat in the arrow, just below the arrow, MnO2 is written and catalyst is written. So what is a catalyst? A catalyst is a chemical substance that will speed up a reaction. It speeds up the rate of the reaction, but itself will not undergo any change. So it does not take part in the reaction, but it will only speed up the reaction. So catalyst is a substance that speeds up the rate of a reaction, but itself does not undergo any change. Here KClO3 is AB, which decomposes to give KCl, that is A, and O2, that is B. So in a decomposition reaction, AB will give A plus B, and if heat is required, it is known as thermal decomposition. If decomposition reaction occurs in the presence of electricity, then such type of decomposition reaction is known as electrolytic decomposition or electrolysis. So let's see an example of electrolysis. When electricity is passed through water, it decomposes to give hydrogen and oxygen. Please do not try this at home. And if you see the equation just below water, it is written acidified water. That means some acid has to be added to water. L stands for liquid. So here H2O is AB. It decomposes in the presence of electricity to give A plus B, that is H2 plus O2. So decomposition reaction, that takes place in the presence of electricity is known as electrolytic decomposition or electrolysis. If decomposition reaction occurs in the presence of light, then it is called photochemical reaction. If decomposition reaction occurs in the presence of light, then it is called photochemical reaction. Let's see an example of photochemical reaction. Example of photochemical reaction is decomposition of silver chloride in the presence of light. Silver chloride, if it is placed in light or sunlight, it decomposes to give silver and chlorine. Here, AB in the presence of light decomposes to give A plus B. Silver chloride is AB, silver is A, and chlorine is B. And since sunlight is required for this reaction, it is an example of photochemical reaction. Now, if you see in the equation below silver chloride, white is written. That means the color of silver chloride is white. After the decomposition reaction occurs, silver, that is Ag, becomes grayish white, and chlorine, that is a gas, it is greenish yellow in color. So when silver chloride decomposes, it will give a grayish white substance and a greenish yellow gas is produced. So always remember, decomposition reaction, AB will decompose to give A plus B if it occurs in the presence of heat. Thermal decomposition, if it occurs in the presence of electricity, electrolytic decomposition or electrolysis, and if it occurs in the presence of light, it is called photochemical reaction. So today we discussed what is a chemical reaction. The two types of chemical reaction, that is combination reaction, A plus B gives out AB, and decomposition reaction where AB decomposes to give A plus B. Thank you everyone.